Get into this hind. This is Fluxtaposed, episode 253, recorded on March 12th, 2019. On the docket today, super game discussion, fun time. But we're still friends forever. Whatchuplayin featuring Samurai Cop and the Dark Tower. Finally, we'll close out the show with Around the Web and that sweet, sweet, awkward finish. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And please enjoy the show. Now get into the time. Welcome to another episode of Fluxtaposed. I am Jason Lacey. I'm joined by Mr. Lucas Rose.
Hi. I always wonder how well the listeners can hear your breathings and your gyrations in the beginning of the... That's exactly how it always sounds, and you were not exaggerating at all. It just sounds like that. It's crazy.
No, am I making too much love to the microphone? Do I need to...
No, not at all.
Position?
It only happens when you're usually like dinking around during the intro and being silly. So like the noises come through, but nobody knows what you're doing unless they're watching the video.
I do that a lot. I wish people could see the glory that was the pre-show, because if there's any time we should have just streamed the pre-show, I'm pretty sure that was it.
I may have dropped a few seconds clip worthy in there.
I hope you did, because for those that weren't here, we were rocking. We were doing here at Fluxtaposed. We pride ourselves in our ability to chair dance.
That's true.
And I will damn well say that was some GD good chair dancing.
Yeah. Some people lap dance. Some people pole dance. We prefer the language of the chair to all mediums.
I mean, we're white males, so the less movement we have to do,
that's true,
the better.
I thought about it. I think I sit about 90% of the waking day.
So, I mean, we can sell it all from the shoulders up, you know?
It's true.
It all works.
It's true.
It all works. Welcome to Fluxtaposed. This is what the show's about. I'm happy to have you here. Duderitos in the chat. What's up, my friend? Hope you guys are enjoying your time listening at home, playing along. Get your scratch-offs, your 40s, and your camels ready, because we're going to have a hell of a time.
Camel?
Speaking of hell of a
smoking.
time. Yeah, those camels. I'm going to start off right now and say, people, I participated in my first Fluxtaposed watch-along on Sunday night, and you should too. Discord, please. Fluxtaposed.com/Discord. This is probably the most fun I've had watching a film in a long time, let alone that it was a horrible movie, but it was so fun to watch. Like, never have I been... I was borderline in tears crying so hard. So the way we do it, we try... we won't even get into the meat and the potatoes of how long it took us to not even synchronize the stream, just get into the correct somewhat position. I won't mention names. A few of us might have been on the wrong version of this movie. Jason. Let's just leave it. I don't know what you're talking. No, I don't. I said no. But
wow.
And then we just type in the channel and make fun of the movie the whole time, and it was a blast. I mean, we watched Samurai Cop, and it was amazing. We'll touch on that a little bit more in Whatchuplayin, but I encourage you for the next one. You guys aren't going to miss it. We do watch the Riff Tracks live version, so you have their commentary, which is funny. We all make stupid jokes in the Discord. You know, we're funny. I mean,
Come on. Yeah. Who doesn't want to do that?
Just go for it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And we do have a March giveaway that's going on right now, running until the last show of the month, which is the 26th. Giveaway, I believe, closes at around 5 p.m. I want to get you guys entered. We're using Gleam as the trial platform. This might be the first and only time we use Gleam, just because I want to see what it was like. Most importantly, I want someone who actually listens to the podcast to win. And our chances with that on Gleam are probably going to hit and miss because you just get a wide variety of people who just want some free stuff. But I want to give you guys that listen free stuff. So check out the show notes. It'll have a link. You just got to do a couple things to get you entered. We'll do the drawing, give it away. $20 digital currency to the gaming platform of your choice.
Do Patreons still get their extra entries for this one?
That was the problem. That's why I'm doing a separate patron-only $10 giveaway on top of this, because there isn't a way they can get their extra entries. I tried to see if there's a way, but there wasn't any like legitimate way that we could do it. So I felt bad about that. So patrons, you don't have to enter. We're just going to throw all of your, depending on your patron tiers, we're just going to throw you all into a hat and we'll randomly draw a winner for $10, a digital currency for you guys, because I felt bad that you don't get your bonus entries. So that's how I'm making it up to you this month. And then probably after this, we'll either go back to either a Google form. Hey, do you want to win something? Enter here. Or we'll think of something else that we'll do.
Write a 5-page dissertation on why we're awesome. I
would like the way that people like to do, give us a rating on iTunes and you get entered. Those are always fun.
That's true.
Because I haven't had an iTunes rating in a while. So we can get an iTunes review. That's fun.
I haven't even thought about iTunes for probably 6 months at least. Just in general. I don't use iTunes.
No, I don't either. And it's crazy how much of a factor that is in the podcast discoverability market.
That's true.
They still play it. There's such a huge player in that space. Lucas,
what?
We're still humble partners. There's a new bundle that came out today.
Yeah, that dropped like it was hot. It's called the Strategy Gaming Bundle. There's strategy games in it. Yeah. Stratego and Risk. That's it.
I don't play strategy games anymore after Sean Capri kicked my butt in StarCraft.
Well,
just can't do it.
I'm sorry to hear that. But you need to get good.
He's wriggling, rushed my ass, and I couldn't do it.
It's true.
Do it.
It's true. Stellaris was one of the games I can personally say was pretty good. Off-World Trading Company, that one was pretty awesome as well. The big one probably for most people who may not be super strategy gamers would be Civilization 6, I believe, is the one. And
for $15, that'll get you Civ 6. I mean, that alone
is a good price.
Probably worth $15, right?
Yes, exactly. So, this one's a pretty good one. After that weird indie, I think it was like Indies 20 or something. That one sucked, but this one I can actually recommend. I have most of the games, so I probably won't be buying it.
Yeah.
Because I got them in other humble monthlies or bundles. So, but yeah, there's some good stuff there.
There hasn't been one that I've been like. Usually, I've been waiting for, because I'm ready for a good humble bundle, and usually it's always like these weird little indie gems. I feel like that I always jump on, but lately I just haven't. Humble Monthly seems to be really doing great, having some great games in there. But
I wonder if that's where some of the appropriation of funds is going, is more towards getting the better games there, because. Yeah, there was a time when you got some really awesome indie darlings, so to speak, but now it seems like stuff you've never heard of before.
Yeah,
I hold off on buying things like The Messenger and stuff like that because I always wonder, is it going to be in there? Not that would be too hard to.
You just want to buy the limited edition physical release on Switch for like $80 instead, right?
Yeah.
Speaking though of physical releases, did you see the collector's edition of Hollow Knight that just got shown today?
No.
That's cool. I don't even know all what's in it. I just seen the picture, and the picture looks cool of all the stuff because it's Hollow Knight. But
it's true. Hollow Knight is cool. Before we move on, I wanted to say it is cool because I like it. Spotify, we're on Spotify now.
Yes, thank you.
Although I don't know who we're well, I guess people on Twitch, if you don't listen to us or want to listen to us on Spotify instead.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we are now on Spotify, and Donnie brought it to my attention this morning that because he's been trying out different podcast apps because he's not happy with the most recent update to Pocket Casts. He's tried because Podbean is a hosting site for podcasts, but they also have their own app And if you try to search us on there, search Fluxtaposed or even search our RSS feed, it wouldn't pull up. So I submitted our podcast to Podbean. So now we are accessible on Podbean as well if you listen to podcasts there. So there you go.
There you go.
Now you got it. You got the things and all the stuff.
You bought it. I don't even think they run that commercial anymore, but we still remember it. It's a great. What was it? Pawn Stars?
No, it was wasn't Pawn Stars. It was Auction Kings or whatever. It was about that auction house in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, you bought it.
You bought it.
That's the one. Shall we begin?
Slide into
IRL.
Ooh, 3 letters that I love to. We
like to indoctrinate you with our lives and excitingness and all the things that we do. Hear about 2 slightly almost middle-aged white guys with kids that
don't leave their houses except for to go to work.
I go to work and then I come home.
No, it's our version of a YouTube vlog. You know, we want you to be jealous of the lives we live. Aren't you jealous? Don't you want to be like me? I have a scratched up door over here. Don't you want that?
I don't want that.
Good. Because you can't have it. It's mine. You go first.
Good.
I go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't remember because a lot of like what I say on Discord and what I say on here blurs together tonight. Had I talked about my sleep issues on the podcast?
Yes, you have.
I thought I had.
Well, actually,
I don't remember either.
I don't know either.
But I think I've come out the other side. Like last night, I slept straight. Well, last night I woke up a little early, but I think that's because I had 3 beers. We met. Yes. We met PSVG's Justin. And since we all live in the same city, practically, it's one thing where you find people that you share internet hobbies or internet communities with in like the same state. We're like in the same city,
So
I hung out with them a couple times, and we got together.
It was my first time meeting.
Yeah, I got together with him last night. But so because of that, I think I haven't slept bad. But otherwise, I've actually slept through the night. Haven't been waking. I've only used that melatonin twice, so I've had it for like a week. So
good.
I think I'm finally getting through that. I did have a physical, though, because, I had the sleep issues. At work, I sweat profusely for whatever reason. So I decided it had been a while. I don't think I've had a physical since I was like 28. So it's been at least 5-6 years. So I had my first physical in a long time. You need your
testicles grabbed is what you're saying.
Well, here's the thing.
I did the same thing, though. I was like, nobody ever tells you to get a physical. You just are like on your own now.
Well, so I had because it's all female nurses predominantly, and they had a one that was in training that did your initial vitals, your height and weight, which it's weird. They take your BMI and they like weigh you with your shoes and all your clothes on, because that's definitely they clearly don't put a lot of like worry into that unless I guess they were concerned, because otherwise it's never accurate. Yeah, blood pressure, right. And then she did my blood pressure, did an initial screening. So then she's like, because I switched doctors. I'm seeing it's actually Jess's female doctor, but she also does general family medicine as well. So I was like, oh, sure, that's fine, because they could have got me in when I decided I needed to have a physical. They could get me in literally the next day. I was like, okay. Wow. So I was like, I need to see a doctor that's closer anyway. So it was a female doctor, and then she's like, oh, and she's got by the way, she has a student that's observing with her as well. Is that going to be all right? I was like, okay. So I'm thinking, great. Now I'm going to have 2 women.
It's like that episode of the Clerks animated show where he goes to the courthouse and it was like, now to read off your list of offenses, 2 giggling high school girls.
Yeah, right. But because like the doctor I used to go to, they do the same. We check for hernia. You do the prostate check as well.
Wait, whoa! You did?
Yeah, when I had my physicals in the past, the doctor I used to see.
I always thought it started at 40.
Well, it's not like a machine. It's like glove up and let's just check the ring out.
Right. I always thought it was, but I thought it didn't start until you were 40.
Maybe that's just part of. Maybe he just liked me then.
I think that might be the case. I have never been asked to have one of those. So,
well, either way,
or maybe I just look like a guy who has a good prostate.
Had the exam, did all the screening, because my concern was, the sweating, the sleep. Do I have something else going on? Everything, all my vitals checked out fine. They don't do a hernia exam anymore, or at least maybe when they lay you down and they feel around on your stomach to check your abdomen that way.
Yeah.
So at least maybe they're able to test. They can check there. Maybe if your intestine somehow is out of place, I don't know.
God.
But then
Gross.
they don't. They used to do like a testicular cancer screening. They don't do that anymore because they find that it usually most of the time they wouldn't find anything. They can have men check at home.
Yeah.
And they were like, usually most cases it was preventing men from coming in because they were uncomfortable with that. So I had a sigh of relief because I wasn't really prepared to. It's like the one time I went to the skin doctor to have like a full body exam there to have for melanoma, moles, all that done, and they had like interns or something there, and literally there was like 5 people all looking at my crotch, and I'm like, this is great.
What's weird is the skin doctor wanted to do the prostate exam too, and you're just like, what the? I just had this.
That's right. So I had blood tests done on Saturday, and the website was down. There's an issue with my account. I couldn't get any of my results. Well, they finally got it fixed, so I was able to get my results today. Everything came back fine with my blood work. So nothing that points to the issues I'm having. I'm almost 100% convinced, though, that the sweating is something to do with the new office. It's either the temperature or something with the air quality in there, because it doesn't happen at home. It only happens at work. So it has to be. At first, I thought it was maybe just my work clothes weren't ventilated well, but I think it's got to be something with the air at work, the temperature or something, the airflow, or I don't know what it is, because it doesn't happen at home. 74. It doesn't happen on the weekends. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't feel like I'm not like sweaty on anywhere else, my forehead, or I don't feel hot. It's I don't know. It's really weird. Really weird situation.
Weird. Yeah. And you think in an office building, usually the air is really dry, so it wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I just need a fan. I don't know. I do need to eat less processed food, more fruits and vegetables, and probably exercise.
Yeah, but they say that to everybody.
Everything was in the normal range, but I think in like my whatever type of cholesterol, I was high. On the other part, I was like somewhere else. I was like, okay, so I'm healthy, I guess.
Yeah,
but I don't have cancer, so there's that.
Ooh, don't say the C word. You'll get it just like that, dude.
And last week we teased this story and we put it out there. People, if someone comes into Discord and you guys voice your opinion, I'd have to tell it. Well, Sean Capri was the only person that voiced his opinion, so the rest of you can go to hell. But
this is just for him.
So I can tell that story now, or would you like to do your IL first, and then I can tell?
Let me get mine out of the way, because following up with your stories, I might as well not even do it at that point. My stuff's pretty quick, actually. So it's kind of funny. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but it kind of speaks to your personality when you have a great food shortage. And I don't just mean you ran out of groceries and you're waiting until Friday, the day you normally go get groceries. I mean, you were supposed to get groceries a week ago and you still haven't gotten them. So what happened?
Oh boy.
That's never happened for you?
No, there's no way my wife would let that happen.
It's a good old time. So what happened was I was supposed to go get them like Friday because we knew I wouldn't have time to do it on Saturday or Sunday. And for some reason I didn't end up doing them or going to get them on Friday. I think we got busy, and then we were busy throughout the weekend. And then my wife had parent-teacher conferences for 2 days out of the week. So basically, I never felt like getting them, and it just never really worked out anyway. So we came up with a strategy which entailed me not having to go get them because she wasn't going to be home for dinner for 2 days, is what I'm saying. So we made it through to the other side, and that grocery getting trip was freaking horrible. But yeah, I was kind of amazed. I was kind of proud of us at the end. I was just like, dang. What did we even eat? Just scrounge around in the pantry and find those. Everybody always has those cans that nobody
what's
ever
in the can back here?
Exactly. Dog food. Interesting. I think I'll have some of that. The other thing, speaking of last weekend, I was feeling kind of, for some reason, I wasn't feeling it, I think it's partially because I've been eating like garbage and I haven't been working out and stuff. My blood pressure's been high and my clothes are starting to fit a little bit tighter and tighter, and I'm just like, oh God, I need to get on top of this, which I have done. I've worked out for 2 days, so I'm completely 100% cured now, and I can say that because I worked out for 2 days.
Everything just melted right back off.
Yeah, exactly. But I have that turned around for the most part. But we were supposed to go out for dinner, my wife and I, because my mother-in-law wanted to pick up our son and take him to Chuck E. Cheese and to get shoes. She always buys him shoes for some reason. I don't know why, but shoes. But I said, okay, that's fine, whatever. So I knew we were going to go out to dinner, and I was just kind of like trying to not be a bummer. You know what I mean? Not just be, you
were like in a funk. You were trying to
yeah. I didn't want to just constantly mention how I didn't want to go or anything, because I knew she was looking forward to it, and I didn't want to bring it all down by just being like, yeah, but I wish we could just stay home. Now, here's the thing. Normally, when I feel that way, I go out, and then I'm just like, oh, I was right. That's horrible. Not with date night, just in general, whenever I don't want to go out. But this time, I'm glad I did. So we went and got sushi, and then we just went to Target to pick up some clothes or something. And I don't know, it for some reason, going outside, even though I didn't feel like it, I was just like, hey, I feel slightly better.
Target.
Yeah, the old Target. So, and it was the one I used to work at too. And I said, you're bringing me to the one I used to work at. What if I see somebody I used to work with?
Exactly.
They're gonna be like, oh, I don't know who you are. I saw you, but I'm going to pretend like you don't know who I am. However, my saving grace was that I used to have long hair when I worked there, and I also weighed about 30 more pounds.
I don't think you'd be recognizable then, for sure.
Only by my movement speed. Hey, there's that slow-ass guy that we were going to fire anyway. So, yeah, all that to say, it was weird that I was kind of glad that we did end up going out.
You're kind of in a funk, and you had to just like do something to shake yourself out of it, right?
I think it might actually be a little bit of seasonal. I don't want to say depression, but like seasonal downers,
mood
bummers.
Disorder.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you think that doesn't affect you, and then you just have a down day, and you just think you have a down day. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, well, there's no reason for me to feel this way. So, and then I went outside and felt better. So what I'm saying is, even if it's negative 30 degrees out where you live, you need to go outside if you feel sad. That's the moral of the story. So that was my big IRLs. That's why I had to go first before you dropped this bombshell.
It's not a bomb. You're just gonna say like, Jesus, Jason. So
I usually do. Please take it away.
All right. So this is this weird story of a bad situation I should never put myself in, but I did anyway. This took place, let's see, about 10 years ago. It was right at the time when I had met my wife at the time. So 10 years ago, I lived in East Grand Rapids.
So you were 24, 25?
25.
Okay.
In an area we call East Town, right by the fabled Yesterdog.
It's where all of the people with beards who drink PBR.
It's very hipstery now. Yeah. So I lived there, and I rented a house with 2 crummy roommates, and we did not have a washer and dryer. So any laundry had to go to a laundromat, which was it wasn't too far. It wasn't too far from there, but it was always a pain in the ass because you had to. At this time, streaming wasn't a thing yet. So I would bring my laptop with me, and I had Netflix disc, and I'd pop a movie that's nice and just watch something while I was there because I just sucked at. You guys sit there and do all your laundry and bring quarters, and it was terrible. Well, this one time I'm there, I'm doing my laundry, and this guy approaches me, and he's locked his keys in his car, needs a ride.
Oof.
And when I was younger, I was like, I don't know if I don't know if it was like I couldn't say no to people or what it was, or I was just because I was awkward in those type of situations. So I was like, okay, I guess I can do that. So I went to the car, and I was like, hey, can I borrow your keys? And he was like, yeah, sure. So I got in the car, and I was like, hey, can I borrow your keys? And he was like, yeah, sure. So I this stranger danger, first of all.
Yeah, for sure.
So, pick this guy, get this guy in my car, leave my laundry there, and we have to go. Lucas, I'm not going to reveal too much, but I'm going to tell you, we had to go to the southeast part of town.
Okay.
If that tells you anything.
Yes.
That's the very sketchy, not safe area of Grand Rapids. So this guy says we got to go to this guy's house, that he'll have a Slim Jim that he can borrow, that he can get into his car.
Yeah, because all those people who have Slim Jims.
Yeah. And
also,
he offered to give me some money for my time to
and let me guess, you were like, no man, you don't have to do that.
for helping him out. And as we're going along, I'm like, fuck. This was a really
the whole time
stupid
you're thinking, no.
idea. And I'm thinking, I am either going to get murdered, I am going to have my car stolen, or who knows what else. So I have to make this long story short, I drive this guy around, have to stop at an I had this little like box that I held all my quarters in. So this guy, I don't remember how it went down, but essentially I ended up giving that guy like a bunch of those quarters, and I had to pulled like $20 out of the ATM.
Oh
I had to give to him too, because at this point I was like, this guy's clearly just taking advantage of me because I was young and stupid. But at the same point too, I'm just going along with it because
you're his hostage now.
I don't want a problem. You know? Especially and then I remember where he referred to me when I did drop him off. He was like, he did say to me, like, because I didn't drop him off like in front of the house or right where he's at, because he basically said I shouldn't be seen in the neighborhood that we're at this time of night.
Oh,
essentially to me.
God.
So yeah, I got out of that situation as quickly as possible. Got back to do the laundry, and I was like, you are fucking stupid. Because luckily, I was only out. Actually, I don't remember. I think I was out, $25, and my time. I mean, it was great. I killed all the time. My laundry was done. But
I was wondering. I was hoping you would say your laundry was all gone when you left. Like it all got stolen.
But I kind of wondered, thinking back on it too. I was like, I wonder what his angle was, because like, did he legitimately leave his car, like lock his keys in there? Or was he just like, well, let me see if I can scam some guy or take advantage of some people? Maybe
he was embarrassed to ask for a ride and just wanted to pretend like he had a car so that you didn't think he was a loser.
Ooh, that could be too.
I doubt it, though. I highly doubt that.
I don't know. But I mean, I remember like the whole time I was thinking, what the fuck are you doing? This is a horrible idea.
Listen,
but at that point you're too late.
Yeah.
And then it's like, why did I say yes in the first place?
No.
Like
I think we gave the same person a ride, because you telling me the story reminded me of something that happened when I used to work third shift at DK Security. So I had a pretty lengthy drive. I had to drive to Rockford to go to my job, and it was about 15 minutes away. And so when I left the apartment complex, there was a guy standing in the middle of the road. Now it's 11:30 at night, and why do I slow down? I don't know. I could have just drove around him, even though he was in the middle of the road. But I slowed down.
Someone standing in the middle. That's like Resident Evil shit right there. I mean,
right. Well, and I thought maybe somebody is in trouble. Because maybe they need a phone. Maybe they just need to call 911. I was trying to be nice, as you know how that feels. So it's some dude, and he's asking me for a ride, and he's telling me, but I don't really know where things are at this point in my life in Grand Rapids, because we've always lived on the outside. So he told me where he has to go, and I'm like, I don't want to do it, but I was afraid to say no because it's nighttime, there's nobody on the road, and he's like right up to my car. So what I did was I said, well, I'm going into work right now, so I don't think I'm going to be able to give you a ride. And he says to me, well, are you sure, man? Can't you just drop me off real quick and then go to work, or blah, blah, blah. And he was pushing the issue. I don't remember exactly how. So I said, well, I'll call my boss, thinking he's going to say, because my boss was Russ. I'm like, he's going to say, hell no, you need to get to work. I'm here right now and I want to go home. That was my saving grace. I was hoping he was going to save me. So I call him up and I'm like, hey man, there's this guy here. He wants me to give him a ride. What do you think? He's like, well, if you really want to give him a ride, go ahead. And I was like, no, what do you mean? No? What do you mean? I thought you would get my brainwaves and be like, oh, this man needs help. I need help, not this other guy. So long story short, he gets in my car, and I used to just keep soda in the back seat to take with me to work because there was no point in, hauling it upstairs and then bringing it back down. So he's like, hey, man, do you mind if I... First of all, he sits behind me for some reason. I don't remember why.
What?
Yeah, super weird. He's like, hey, man, do you mind if I have one of these sodas? No, sure, go ahead, At this point, what am I going to... Hey, do you smoke? No. Oh, okay, cool. Good for you, man. Because he wanted to bum a smoke off me, and I don't smoke. So he bums a soda off me instead. And I end up driving him all the way down to Diamond. I think it was Diamond and Pearl, somewhere around in there. But same area, Southwest Grand Rapids, I think. I don't even know how I got there. If I just listened to his directions or if I had a phone that gave me, I almost said MapQuest, Google Maps. So I get there and I drop him off and he's like, oh, you don't have to pull in the parking lot. You can just drop me off on the side of the road. I'm like, I was like, okay, go. Just get out of my car at this point. You've got my soda pops.
Get out of my sight.
That's right. And I peeled out of there and I went to work and I said to my boss, what are you doing? You were supposed to be my saving grace. He's like, oh, I thought you wanted to give him a ride. I thought you were being nice. I don't want to be nice. No, I wanted to come to work.
That's like I feel like when I lived at York Creek, the crappy apartment complex I lived at, I feel like there was a time where some guy was randomly buzzed doors and he needed help with something, and I think he just needed a drink or something. But I remember I can't remember, but I feel like he tried to get beer from me too, and I was like, no, go.
Hey man, can we stop at the party store?
Somewhat related, I remember one time I was home. I don't remember if I was in between roommates, but either way, I was in the apartment by myself at the time. And I think I was on my computer. I was either probably playing World of Warcraft or something. And all of a sudden I hear this dude, it sounds like a large male, pounding on various doors trying to find somebody. So underneath me, there's a guy who went by, I'm pretty sure he went by the name MX was his name. He was a drug dealer. He was recently released from prison.
Oh, you got his whole life story.
That's because my roommate at the time, Tony, was really good friends with him because I'm sure he bought a lot of weed off of him. Anyway, so I'm like, this could be some dude trying to get money that somebody owes him. Who knows? And he's pounding on the door for a reason. And so this time I creep up to my door and I'm peeping through the peephole. For whatever reason, I hadn't locked the door that day. My door was unlocked. And it was a very large man, an angry large man. And I'm like, oh shit. Luckily he walked past my door and he was standing on the stairs. Mm-hmm. And he was because I was on the ground floor and my apartment was at the end of the hallway. And then it wrapped around. And then there's a staircase right there. So he was at the base of the stairs looking up. As I'm flipping through the people, I grab the deadbolt and I'm ever so quietly as I lock it and right as that clicks,
it turns around.
I see it. Yeah, no, his head snaps and it's staring directly to that people. I'm like, oh fuck!
I know you're in there.
And then I just kind of creeped back into my room.
That I think I told the story on not to constantly one up you or anything, but I had a similar thing too. But it wasn't that anybody was pounding on doors. I think it was New Year's Eve, and I wasn't working, but I was doing third shift, so I was up at night. And around midnight, somebody tried our door handle at the apartment. They just tried to open the door.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I thought for a second, I was like, is this even locked? But thankfully, I didn't lock the bottom part, just the deadbolt. But for some reason, the peephole had a cover, but it was spring loaded, and it was a box that went over the peephole, and you had to pull down the cover, and it was spring loaded.
Oh, I think I remember that.
Yeah, so it would snap right back into place. So I was scared to death, and that's when I grabbed the sword. I think that's why I remember. I grabbed that chintzy gold sword because it's the only weapon I had.
Present day Lucas grabs a mop
or a
broomstick.
Whatever it was.
Former Lucas is much like Samurai Cop. You were a katana master.
Yes, I think I'm much like that. Or however, in that movie, he barely ever used a sword. I think I may have used a sword more than that guy.
Life imitates art. You know,
it's true. It's true. So, needless to say, I did not die, as far as I know, that night. I never found out who they were because I knew how loud that thing was. So by the time I checked, they were gone.
Person that thought that was their apartment. They were trying to get.
I heard. Yeah, that's what I figured. I heard voices. There was more than one, so I figured that's probably because there's times when I've been reading the mail or something, and we lived on the 3rd floor, and I would only go up two sets of stairs, walk all the way down, looking at my phone or the mail. And I actually tried my key and realized I was on the 2nd floor. So it was like 203 instead of 303. And I was like, oh shit, this isn't my house or this is my apartment. So I'm like, slowly get the key out and walk away. So that same exact thing probably, except I wasn't drunk. So
I had, a lot of weird stories in that apartment. I remember one time I had a Halloween party and then I had a bunch of people show up, but then there were this group of 3 people that were there and nobody knew. They were just 3 randos just showed up. They didn't know anybody there. Nobody knew them. They just tried to, there's this odd party. They just tried to crash. And I remember.
Oh God.
I remember who the fuck are you? Get the hell out of my apartment.
This party might look big, but it's not that big. You can't just show up.
Clearly the fire, the F-150 that burned to a crisp in the parking lot. That's the story that's the event to end all events at that apartment. I mean, that was insane.
If you ever have to explain what the apartments are like there, that's just the story you use. There was a truck on fire.
There's stabbings, and there was a truck that was on fire.
It's apocalypse now.
I lived there 2 years. It was great.
Somehow you're still alive. It made you a better person, more cultured.
And we always walked up to see those nice Indian lads that opened the liquor store on the hill.
Excuse me, are you fine purveyors of the alcoholic drink? I would like some, please.
Well, this is a great introduction to our next conversation point. First of all, Lucas, how long have we been streaming? I'm trying to be mindful.
Probably about 35 minutes without.
I'm trying to be mindful of our runtime. Okay, because I don't think this is going to be something that we're going to talk about a lot. But I thought it's an interesting point because I thought about this. Anytime I hear I'll read a subject or a headline that talks about video games, or when I think in my head, you get in your mind's eye, and you think of that idyllic scenario where it's I want to be able to relax and do what I want and just want to hang out and play a game.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what comes into your brain when you think of that. What is that game? What is that scenario that plays out in your head?
The perfect gaming scenario? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, or just not even just perfect gaming scenario, but when you think of when someone mentions video games to you, or you think of gaming, period, what is the first game or image that pops into your head?
Probably being always in front of a TV, which is funny because I'm a PC gamer, mostly. Always in front of a TV, relaxed, got your controller in hand, maybe having a brew, maybe not. Home alone, though, for sure, because you don't want to be bothered when you're trying to get into a game. And probably some RPG or something that you just get lost in, completely engrossed, to the point where you forget how many hours it's been since you started. That's kind of I wouldn't say it's necessarily mine, but that is what I picture when most people say that they've been playing a game or something. I think of them alone, sitting in a nice, comfortable living room in front of a gigantic television.
I have 3 different scenarios that play out, and it depends. One is it's winter outside, so it's cold and nasty outside, and I'm just all snuggled up like a bug on a rug,
with a blanket over your over your shoulders, and
I'm playing Super Mario Sunshine of all things.
Oh,
Because it's like a completely opposite of the outside conditions. It's very tranquil, very vacation-like experience.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's a game I've only played once, and I'll probably never play again unless it's ever remastered. The second option is it's sometimes it's either summer or fall, and I'm playing Wind Waker. But for usually when I just think of the term gaming, in the first game that pops into my head, and this is the one I alluded to because I didn't even own it. I had played it, but I didn't like grow up playing it. When I think of that phrase and term, the vision I see in my head is Mario from Super Mario World with the yellow cape, and he's riding on Yoshi. I have no idea why that's always the image that pops in there. And like Super Mario World that's always the game. And it's like I didn't grow up with that game, It's not like I don't have nostalgia for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I played it. I had friends that had a Super Nintendo, and I experienced it. But it's not like I didn't grow up with the Super Nintendo. I didn't grow up playing that game. So it's always weird to me that that's the image that comes to me. But it's not something that I have like firsthand experience playing on that side of things. It's really weird. That's why I was like, that was the concept. I was like, I wanted to talk about this because like I'm curious if yours is something that doesn't relate to your firsthand.
Yeah. So are you saying when people talk to you about gaming in a generic way, I guess?
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
I'm going to play games.
Yeah.
What was your second one? I forgot already.
Wind Waker. Zelda Wind Waker.
Okay. I was going to say, but still, 2 Marios.
Yeah, I think the GameCube harkens back to me a lot, especially Wind Waker, because that was the game. I got the GameCube right around release. I was a senior in high school, I think, when the GameCube launched, and then that was the console I had when I moved out. So, like, when I first moved into my first apartment, I was there by myself for until like 3 months, couple months until you moved in.
Yeah,
I didn't have TV. Didn't have TV programming. I had the internet, but I was just like, and I didn't have any. I moved to a new area. I didn't have any friends yet, and then eventually, became friends with most of my coworkers. But at the time, so I was just like hanging out playing Wind Waker a lot because
I was just gonna say GameCube seems like the height of your gaming, just in general. Like that's the most that you played games was around that time.
Yeah,
again,
between that, that was I was playing the PC too. I had the GameCube and I was playing games on the PC. So I mean, in terms of a whole, yeah,
I don't mean just GameCube, but
yeah,
you definitely were
between
playing
hours of World of Warcraft, Enemy Territory, yeah, Smash Bros, Double Dash, yeah, for sure. I think quite handedly, I'd say. It's kind of like. I think a lot of memories come back to that first apartment because, like, that was, for whatever reason, May, the Everglow by May still registers as such an album I love so much. And again, the same thing. It's like I always have visions of it being like cold and nasty outside, and listening to that album, and it just, not that there's a lot of memories about that, not in respect to you, but a lot of bad memories I have from that time, from relationships, things I had in that nature. But I think it was a lot of me and independence and becoming my own person. So I think that's why those feeling, the same thing with like, because I remember we went to Best Buy and I bought that album, and I bought Coheed and Cambria as well. I think Good Apollo, Burning Star 4 was that, or is Welcome Home actually the name of that album? I can't even remember. I had to look it up now because I can't remember.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think everybody feels that experience where...
Yeah, I was right. Good Apollo and Burning Star 4. Volume 1, From Fear Through the Eyes of Madness. You got to get the whole string in there.
That's a pretty long title.
Yeah.
I think everybody has that feeling with music where it puts them... You have a nostalgic memory or a place in time that you remember with music. I think most people have that. However, I wonder how many gamers have video games that when they play it, it transports them back to a certain time in their life. Does it work the same way? Because I know there's kind of a science behind
it. I think it would have to. Like, it's the thing for me is like I feel like and I'm kind of going through this right now, playing Breath of the Wild again. Like, I don't typically replay games.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not been something that I usually do. I guess it's because time commitment. I guess that's a lot of it. I always like, if I've got time to play something, I want to play something new. I don't want to have to.
No, I know what you mean.
Go back to something. Go back to familiar territory. With that said, though, I think of all the games, like
Earthworm Breath of the Wild again.
Earthworm Jim, I think I've played through quite a few times. Like some of those 16-bit games I have, but like in terms of more complex, longer games, probably the Wind Waker. I've played through the Wind Waker a couple times now, and my fondest memory still has to be here in this house when I finished the HD version. Because my wife came, I think I couldn't sleep, and I remember it being really late, and my wife came, like, got up, she couldn't sleep for whatever reason. She came up and was just watching me as I was finished the game. And for people who aren't familiar, when you defeat Ganon, and it's just like out of nowhere, like Link just jumps up and he like buries the Master Sword in his forehead.
Oh,
and he turns to stone, and it's just like, she's like, I don't remember the exact term she said. I think she was like, she's like, well, that escalated quickly. And I was like, yes, yes, it did.
Shit just got real.
Yes, it did.
So is that the original getting stoned?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh God, I hate myself. Well, yeah. If anybody has that experience, I'd be curious to know, because I don't often replay games either. Although I have started to recently, or at least dabble into games that I used to know or whatever. When you can buy them for $2 on PC or whatever, it's like, why not?
Remind me of a game that I used to know.
Don't even put me down that road, because I will take that journey with you. Just like
you're probably playing. If we can go back to, oh gosh, what was the band that they're on the Burnout Takedown soundtrack? I can hear the song in my head. It was a band 41. It was a band that you were really into for a while. Oh God. I'm going to have to I got to look that up now too.
I need to know too, because I would be curious to know.
Because like that I can hear that song too, and that immediately takes me right back to that memory and that time, just hanging out in your room playing that game. And...
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a really long time ago, playing Xbox, the Xbox days.
We kind of got into like a weird tangent of this. Of all over the place, games. But it's just interesting though how like things are tied to memory. Wow, I forgot Amber Pacific was on there. Funeral for a Friend's on there too. Damn. Chronic Future.
No wonder I like this game.
Von Bondi's. Wow. Okay. It was 18. Sorry, it's taking me forever.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We just got people watching.
This makes for good podcasting. Well, it's interesting. I see it on here, and I don't see the band that I was thinking of, but it's pretty interesting. The like, this is like the soundtrack to my youth,
your formative years.
I mean, wow, that's like bands I never thought of before. Like, Sugar Cult.
Yellow Card? Was it Yellow Card?
Yellow Card's on there. Pennywise is on there. Von Bondi's, Franz Ferdinand. I mean, just Reggie and the Full
Bravery?
Effect.
Was it Bravery?
It was the Bravery.
The Bravery, yeah.
Yes.
I still listen to them, actually, because I'm old now.
They're actually not on this soundtrack, which I thought they were, so I'm not sure.
I don't think I knew of them at that time, because I think you misremembered, because...
What?
I didn't know of the Bravery until we went to the hookah bar, the hookah lounge that one time, and I saw them. I saw their music video.
They're on Burnout Revenge.
Classic mistake.
Classic mistake. Burnout Revenge, Burnout Takedown. I mean, come on.
It's definitely a common mistake. I will give that to you.
Good.
Jason was just checking out his penis. That was really weird.
No, I saw like I could have swore I saw movement out of my peripheral vision again. It's like, oh god, the mouse is back.
That guy wants me to give him a ride again. No,
Oh, god,
he's creeping. He's creeping around.
Oh, I think we just became the OT.
That's okay.
Did all this reminiscing on all these stories and weird randomness. I love it. I love it. You know, at least
hopefully you do too.
Guess what? I guarantee it sounds fucking better than the Megadads. So
whoa,
I mean, just deal with it. Deal with it.
Wow.
I mean, we gotta stand up for ourselves, all right? We're getting mentioned on their show. Those If We Ran Nintendo schmucks are talking about us, defaming our character. Only Fluxtaposed talks bad about Fluxtaposed.
That's true. Bored with Video Games talks nice about us, or at least Josh does.
Well,
but
yeah, because Kyle doesn't like us.
Let's face it, Josh is about 90% of that show.
Josh
sorry, Kyle. I'm just joking.
You want to play an Overclocked remix? We want to kill the mood. You want to destroy all the momentum we have going, and we're going to play a remix that people will love or hate.
It's called a palate cleanser.
Josh Brown, get ready. You're going to want to start hitting your skip button so you can get through on the other side.
You can't.
We know your secrets. We know your secrets now.
Secrets. I got a secret.
My dog is down here now.
Yo, dog. I heard you like dogs.
Yo, dog. So for those, you guys know by now, we're going to play a random remix from the front page. I'm going to have to kill time while Lucas downloads and gets it ready.
Wow.
I'm going to vamp. I'm going to freestyle for y'all.
A little hibbin and a little hoppin'.
I hope it is not... I'm not going to even...
Don't say anything.
I'm not even going to pretend because last time it was not good. What I picked was not good.
Yeah, so you don't have any... Can I spin the wheel, sir? Can I spin the wheel?
Yeah, you can do it.
Hey, we got a sound effect for once. I kicked it earlier, so... All right, we got number 12. Number 12! Ooh. Oh, you like to play Castlevania? Hey, we haven't played Castlevania in a while. Baño de sangre.
I need Calo to interpret this the title for me.
Yes, I don't know what a baño
de sangre.
Yeah, baño
de sangre.
Well, I have the window so small, like thin, that I can't see most of the information that is contained within.
Ooh. All right, so our remixer tonight comes from Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. It's by the Plasmas, so I'm assuming it's going to be an instrumental cover in some way, shape, or form.
We're being informed that it's Bath of Blood is what that stands for.
Ooh.
That's cool as hell, if you allow me a swear. Can I have a swear?
You can have a swear. This Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse, released in 1990 by Konami on the NES. Music by Jun Funahashi, Yoshinoro Sasaki, and Yuki Morimoto. That's why we don't say that stuff on Fluxtaposed Radio any longer. This is remixing one song, Nightmare, Underground Path stage. I'm glad they emphasized and spelled that out, that it is the underground path. Otherwise, you never would have known. It's metal. It's aggressive. It's dark.
It's everything that we stand for.
And it's only 3 minutes and 12 seconds long. It hits all the beats you want. It's short. It's metal. Hopefully it's good. I don't know. Castlevania? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Castlevania sometimes.
I was going to ask you how familiar you were with 3.
I've played the original. I've played whatever on the classic systems.
3 was the one that had the multiple characters, I think. You could play as the weird hunchback thief guy, and there was a mage or something. I'm not too familiar with it, so I don't know
the Castlevania I played the most is Symphony of the Night. And that was on Xbox 360.
Wow. Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on the Xbox Live Arcade.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I was going to say, because didn't that come out on the PlayStation? But that makes sense now that you say it in that way.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
I'm ready.
You ready? Well, we're gonna play this remix. We're gonna recoup, recharge, and we'll come back for a little Whatchuplayin and Around the Web. So you'll know. I know you'll want to stick around for that. So, Lucas, when you're ready,
okay,
you do it.
I'm gonna do it now.
Let's see your mix.org. I brought my
Gosh, we're so respectful of the arts around here.
Smooth McGroove's got nothing on this. Okay.
Wow, that's true. That's a fact, actually.
I mean, I'm just gonna put that out there. How about that?
How
about that?
I like it.
Oh my goodness.
I like it a lot.
Some housekeeping that I also forgot to do. We need to do another Netflixation for the end of the month coming up. So Lucas has his suggestion. I will say
I did my homework.
The movie that you picked, Jessica and I did try to watch it. We made it about 15 minutes. And just I think we weren't in the best mood or place that night, so I think it was just a little slow moving. So we had to.
I understand. I have often thought how funny it is the way that whoever you watch a movie with affects the type of like how good of a time you have with the movie. Because I've seen a movie, I'll watch a movie and then watch it with somebody else, and then I'll be like, "Man, this is way crappier than I thought it was." Or enjoy
The Predator,
it more, or
for example. I would probably not have watched that solo, but you and I had a great time watching it.
That's true. I think either one of us alone would have shut that off, or I would have suffered through it. But instead, we had a bit of a giggle with it, didn't we?
A little flig-a-giggle.
That's right.
You know,
that's exactly what it was.
So typically, we used to we each select one and we put it to a poll. I will just select one, and maybe we'll still do the poll or make a site post or do something. Because we need to get that announced and decided. So if you do want to play along at home, you have time to watch the movie and then get through it.
Yes.
We're also going to have a vote coming up on Patreon for the next Fluxtaposed radio theme, because we wanted to decide that soon. So you and I have time to curate the list and get that ready to go for the end of the month.
Yeah, we've had a bad tendency of leaving that towards the end of the
procrastinating.
Yeah. Well, it's really hard to make a poll post. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. So
I have to remember my login. Well, your login.
Yeah, so we'll have to get around for that too. Did I miss anything else? Was that all? Were those the announcements?
I think it has thoroughly been. The house has been cleaned.
I'm sorry, guys. You think after 5 years we could do this shit right, but we never will.
If it's not perfect now, it ain't never going to be.
We're never going to be. You want to do some Whatchuplayin? Dude, that cowbell is bitching.
I know, right? That was for Skinny Matt, who found the... I'm pretty sure he posted a picture of the arcade cabinet of Sunset Riders.
Yahoo!
Yahoo! And I asked him if it had Don Corleone or whatever that guy's name was. I don't remember. The shotgun guy that everyone picks because he's got a...
Because he's OP as hell.
Yeah. And he's awesome.
He's got the pink sombrero.
Exactly. Of justice.
That's right. Well, Lucas, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I've been playing Smash Bros. Occasionally, as always. As you're wont to do.
Yes.
We watched Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah.
What are your thoughts, sir?
I really liked it. I mean, I was not very familiar with Freddie Mercury as his story. I wasn't really that familiar with Queen's story or their journey. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't even wasn't really aware of Queen very much until probably 10 years ago. I just didn't listen. And I probably knew a lot of their songs. I just, wasn't aware that, Queen.
Yeah. It's something you hear on the radio and you're going, well, yeah, that's Queen, but
but now it's like, oh God, now it's just like, my musical interest or my knowledge and history of music and blah, blah, blah. So I thought it was really good. It was a really good movie. Again, you wonder how much is true. How do they, get a lot of the story, what liberties are taken in the writing, but you feel really bad for him. He must have a very lonely existence.
He just needs a friend.
Time,
Yeah.
Just because his lifestyle and the path that he was on. And that's just the unfortunate thing that happens with many celebrities is people, take advantage of them or try to control them and try to, it's unfortunate when that happens.
When they're doing their laundry. So you can relate.
Mustache rides?
Is there any other kind?
Okay. Yeah, I can relate. So, but it's very good. It's very good. Again, we Amazon Prime rental. Just made of money throwing out those Amazon Prime $6 rentals left and right.
You know, though, you probably end up spending almost $6 doing a red box if you either forget to take it back or or
you get the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I would have to get the Blu-ray.
Or you get some snacks. Or you got gas to get you there. There's so many variables.
That's right. Easily $6. You're practically saving money through Prime.
Yeah. I'm playing, much like the PSVG community, I'm playing Breath of the Wild. We've all returned to Hyrule. And this is interesting because I thought I wouldn't have much interest or have a lot of fun playing that game again just because of the scope of that game, how big that game is, how much I played that game already. And coming back 2 years later, it's been actually quite refreshing. I'm trying to play it completely different. You know, when I played it last time, you know, my son was going to be, you know, I got the Switch at launch. My son was born on the 24th of March. And I was like, I knew my time was out. I was like, I have to finish Zelda before he was born. So I like played the shit out of that game to finish it before he was born.
Hurry up, Link. We don't have much time.
I got all the armor. I upgraded all the armor. I did all the shrines. So now it's like very much I'm just playing it how I want to, you know. I'm like, do I want to go over to this area? Okay, I'll go over there and wander around. I'll do this. I haven't decided if I'm not going to try to get all the armor. I haven't decided if I'm going to like do all the shrines or not. I do have an Excel spreadsheet that Donnie shared with me that has them all in there in like a nice checklist form. So I am checking them off as I get them. So I might try to find them all again. But one thing I've noticed, like, it's just being more aware of the mechanics and how the game plays. Like that first, like the plateau I flew through, but at the same time I died horribly so many ways. I keep meaning to post the video. Like much like when I first played the game, as soon as I saw the Temple of Time, I'm like, I'm going to go climb the shit out of that. And I'm up on the top of the Temple of Time and I'm trying to walk to the edge to grab it. And instead I just run right off the edge and fall and then die. You know, so literally I died in like my first 5 minutes on the plateau. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know how to play this game.
That pretty much sums up that whole game. Is you look at something and you go, yeah, I'm going to climb that. And that's Breath of the Wild.
And I forgot how the frustration's like, oh, I need to climb this wall over here. Oh, it's raining. And it's raining for the next 3 to 8 hours. Great.
I'd build a fire, but it's raining, so I can't pass the time.
So frustrating when that happens. But
the worst part is when it's raining during the lighting the furnace quest. My God. Oh, gosh. That was the worst.
Ha! So I've been doing that, and I already I think I have a lot better handle of the combat. Like when I played the last time, it was pretty much I'm going to lock onto it, focus, and smash the attack button until something dies, and occasionally hit the jump button. But now I'm like actually because I've done a couple of like major tests of strength where I shouldn't be because I only have like at the time I had 4 hearts and 5 hearts respectively. Not really that great of armor, so basically I'd have to play it flawless, not get hit, and do flurries and do parries, and it felt really rewarding to do. I mean, I died several times doing it, but I've completed 2 that way, and it was just like it's super hard challenge, and it just felt super rewarding to take down that ancient and get because he get that fat loot it drops
so it can break immediately.
It seems crazy when I have all of a sudden I had 10 to 20 durability weapons, and all of a sudden I have like a great sword that has 60.
Jesus. Yeah.
You know, it's like all of a sudden I've got like 3 spears, a couple 2-handed weapons, another sword that all have above 40 durability. It's like, okay, I got some OP weapons now. And so it's been fun. Just like I dyed my armor. I'd never dyed armor in the first playthrough for whatever reason. I just never decided to.
I remember when you first meet the person who dyes stuff, you don't really have any of the ingredients, and I didn't really understand how to do it. But I came back there for whatever reason, and then when I came back, I had stuff that I could actually use to dye it.
Right.
It wasn't explained very well, but once I figured it out.
Like I have a ridiculous amount of monster parts already, so that's great for when upgrades at the fairies. I have a ton of ancient parts that I've just been scavenging like crazy. I have a ton of luminous stones that I'm just going to sit on until I get to the Zora area to sell those. So I don't know. It's been fun, and I think that's really been my most played thing lately. I mean, I'll play Smash Bros every once in a while for a little bit, but then I'm like, I'm just going to wander around Hyrule again, and it's been fun just to kind of get lost in that experience again. And now, there's always been talk about, we've got another 2D Zelda, but there's been all this rumor or this speculation going around that I can't remember the exact quote that was mentioned, but someone had said that if you liked Breath of the Wild, you're going to want to pay attention to blah, blah, blah. So, there's always the speculation, or would they ever do like another Zelda game in that same engine and that same world and all this and that? Would we ever, I kind of always wish we'd get more story content than what we did with the DLC. The Ballad of the Champions was cool, but I always wanted a little something more. I think how cool it would be to be able to run around in a post-Ganon Hyrule and all these things to that. So it's been really fun to kind of get lost in that game and to see so many other people playing it. I know this is kind of a bitter pill for you a little bit because when you were playing, everyone was like, "Oh, that's old game. Old game's old.
I know.
Nobody
I go
cares."
in there and bitch about nobody talked about this game when I played it.
Yeah. We got Devin that's playing it, for his very first time, while all the rest, and we've got Josh, who in like an hour has made it further than he ever did in his initial playthrough. It blows my mind that he didn't even make it off the plateau when he first played the game.
Yeah, he talked a little bit about that on his show, and he had said that he was suffering. He thought he suffered from Horizon Zero Dawn infatuation.
Yeah, that's right.
Like it all just came out at the wrong time for him.
That's right. Yeah, and I'm sure that was the same thing for Kyle because he wanted to jump into that too. That's fair. See, I'm a poor bastard. I don't have that problem. We only have one console, and it's easy. You don't have to worry about it.
It's true.
You only have one mistress.
You just get to get online and look at all the games coming out, and then bitch about who the hell cares about this game. I'm never going to be able to play it. I'm looking at you, Destiny, the original.
Hey, I will say though, I won a giveaway from the Megadads, so I got the money to buy Toe Jam and Earl now. But now, part of me is like, do I do it? Because I'm like, is that going to be fun to play by myself, or is that
now that
really
it's possible? You're questioning it.
Yeah, or is that going to be? Because now it's like, anytime I've had money, you hoard it, and you want to you don't want to spend it. You want to make the right choice. So I don't know. I don't want a Nidhogg situation. Where it was horrible by myself, but then playing with you, that was great.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
I guess you're just gonna have to save up enough for 2 copies and then buy me one, and we'll play it together. Boom.
Well, why don't you enter the Fluxtaposed giveaway this month, and if you win, we'll have to pay it to you, I guess.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think I might do that.
And again, we watched Samurai Cop for the Fluxtaposed watch along. You guys, this is one of the worst movies ever made in so many ways, shapes, and form, but so many classic moments. You guys, if you go through scroll the comments, you'll see the legacy of Frank.
That's
bingo,
true.
the euphemism of bingo.
Bingo.
What a black gift is. This movie and what you can do with a wig. I learned so much about this movie.
I was like, is this guy wearing extensions or something? I thought he was supposed to have luxurious hair.
So good. It was so good in all the wrong ways. I loved it. Like, there's not a lot of times I can watch bad movies, but I can't wait for the next one.
If you're a listener, if you're around your mom right now, you need to pause this or go into another room because I'm about to drop an F-bomb. I couldn't believe when the blonde. There's like only 3 police officers. The blonde turns around to the blonde
the police
woman.
officer or the nurse?
The police officer. Blonde woman turns around to like preacher or whatever his name was. I don't remember the other cop, and she's like, "Well, we don't have anything to do. You want to fuck?" It's like Jesus Christ. Every time they swear in this movie, it's so out of nowhere. You're just like,
they really give it a hard F when they say fuck.
It verbally just hits you, pounds you.
That's so
right in the
has Tom Servo announced the next selection, or do you and him work as a team, a unit?
We go behind the scenes. We run the numbers and we do calculations and stuff, and the machines go. Blah, 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 blah,
I think it needs to be Mac and me. That gets my vote. I
think that was what was possible. I think that was kind of where we were headed. Because quite honestly, we've already done the 2 that I was most interested in, and that was Samurai Cop, and more so than that, even Miami Connection. But whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. All that matters is it's riff tracks, and then we get online and make jokes about it. That's really what it comes down to. So, yeah, it was a good time. It was a very good time. What are you doing?
It was a good time. I was looking up if the Mac and Me was a Riff Tracks live, but
I think Tom Servo said it wasn't live, but we could watch it anyway. He said he would allow that to happen.
Oh, okay.
Which I fought him on for a long time, but finally I acquiesced and said, if we must, Mac and Me.
I'm okay with that. As long as it happens. Sorry, my wife's asking me a question about if there's supposed to be a pilot light on in her grandma's fireplace. And
who?
My wife is asking me questions I don't know the answer to.
Wait, who?
Just stop. I'm not doing it.
I do it every time. The fans want it. It's our number one hit. All right, well, while you're asking or answering fireplace questions to an unknown stranger, I will go with my What You Playin'. And, I wasn't actually going to make the Dark Tower my thing, but you said it, and I was just like, whatever. It's not a big deal. The thing is you didn't
specify,
you're
so
right.
I had to take some liberty.
I have one job around here, and that was to fill out that one spot so that you knew.
I mean, fucking
listen, I know, but...
Hey, Adam Leonard, I need a new co-host.
Wow. The Dark Tower, the movie, the legend. What brought this about was I've been reading the comics, the Marvel comics, I believe. And those are good. Those are really good. The Dark Tower movie, terrible. Of course, I knew that already. It's no surprise to anybody, obviously, because it was panned by many people publicly. Anybody could see how bad it did. So, of course, I said to myself, well, how bad could it really be, right? What are the problems? Let's break it down. And I will be writing a review for this for True Myth Media because I have so much to say about this that I need to put it down on paper. And by paper, I mean electronic.
As soon as I saw the trailer, I was excited for this at first, but then as soon as you see they try to condense everything into this short film.
Yeah. It was like they didn't
that
think...
That story is so huge,
Well, and that's the thing is they just ignored a lot of stuff so that they didn't have to make another movie if they didn't want to. They just changed everything. But anyway, so yeah, my thoughts will be coming on this week, Thursday. I'm hoping to have it done. So in 2 days, basically. That won't mean anything to you if you're listening to this in the future. But anyway, what I have been watching, though, is the Grand Tour Season 3. And that's because Josh Barboni had mentioned it. And I was like, I've been meaning to watch this for quite some time. Pretty much since it came out. Season 3, that is. I love the show. And it never fails to deliver. I swear. It's so good. And if you're not really that interested in cars, most of the episodes, while, yeah, they are in cars and they talk about them, a lot of the time it's just about the hosts being asses to each other or getting on each other's nerves, or they have to go do some
I could see that
thing. So, yeah, it's very much more than just a car review show. And quite often, they're not even talking about new cars except for in specific segments. A lot of the time, they have challenges to do, and they're not talking about new cars. They're talking about old cars or Winnebagos or whatever it might be. So, yeah, it's good. People should watch it. It's great. I really enjoy it. And, of course, because it shows... Sometimes they'll have cars that they put around their track called the Ebola-drome, which they have a running list. It was actually the inspiration of the Battle of the Beer top 15 or whatever beer list that we had. But they pit these cars against each other, and it doesn't matter what kind of car it is. It can be a supercar, could be a Ford Fiesta. It doesn't matter. It'll all go on the board. And when they do that, they have a professional driver, and she drives these cars like a bat out of hell. And, of course, I say to myself, well, I want to do that, but I ain't going to do that in my Nissan Pathfinder. So instead...
But would you do anything for love?
But I won't do that. Love, what is it?
I had to. You said that, and you said the bat out of hell. I had to go.
It all came together.
To go with the love.
What was the other one? Love by the Dashboard Light or some crazy shit like that. It's like a 10-minute song that sounds like it came from a musical or something. Anyways, so instead I played Assetto Corsa in VR with the steering wheel, because you got to.
That sounds okay. What is
it's Italian? I don't know what it means.
Okay, is that a person or is it a car?
I don't know. No, it's not. I don't know. It's none of that. I don't know why it's called that. Let's see.
I was like, is this a licensed product? Assetto? It must be a racer. Ask Seth. It must be a Formula One racer.
It's Italian for race setup. What a terrible name. Race setup. I played race setup.
What the fuck is this?
When
I Google Assetto Corsa,
yeah,
like you get YouTube, you get the videos options, and there's like there's three videos that come up, and it's like naked dudes on wheels. Assetto Corsa normal online races 2. My body is ready. What?
Yeah, that's the game. That's what I've been playing.
Oh my god, they're driving in Flintstone mobiles.
Oh geez, so it's been modded or whatever. So it's still the game, but it's been modded.
Yeah, I'm gonna scrub this as you keep going.
Okay. Well, basically, here's the thing. It's a simulation racing game. Think of Gran Turismo, if you're not familiar too much with mini simulation games, or Forza, not Forza Horizon, but Forza. Fiveza. But the VR, adds an element, the racing wheel. So I think to myself, I'm like, I'm going to be drifting around these curves. I'm going to be using the handbrake. I'm going to just drive the shit out of some vehicles. Well, it's a simulation, and if you don't really know how to drive like that, you can't do it. You can't just hop into the game having not played really and just be able to drive a car like that. So while I did play it and it was fun, I wasn't exactly doing the sweeping drift turns that they show in the in Grand Tour that often. And then lastly,
I just posted a picture of it in Discord, so you can take a look at it.
Okay. I'm not in Discord right now because it was bogging down my computer, so I had to close it. But I'll check it on my phone.
Okay.
The last thing that I played was the aforementioned buying old games for really cheap. They had Humble Bundle had a sale on some old games that I remember from. I don't even remember what the developer was. THQ Nordic.
From Galaxy of Games.
Yeah, Galaxy. Shut up. Yeah, I may have misremembered on PSVG Prime. I don't even know why I think it's because their program is called Galaxy.
Their launcher is Galaxy.
Yeah, I would like to think that that's why I said that, but it probably isn't. Now here's a game. I bought 5 games, and most of them I was familiar with or all old. I'm not trying to be like, I dropped $100 on games. No big deal. Collector's edition. No. These were $3 or something like that. Carmageddon Max Damage. Now, you might not know this about me, Jason, because this was long before we met, but around the time of me getting, probably upgrading the gateway computer that I first started out with, around that time, I think, maybe, was a game called Carmageddon, or as my dumb idiot young self used to call Carmageddon, because I was stupid.
Carmageddon.
And I'd never heard of the word Armageddon. That's how young I was. So, Carmageddon, because I'm dumb.
Okay, that has to be the episode title. Carmageddon, and you need to make like
a dinosaur and a car put together.
Monster truck.
I like
dinosaur.
It. Yes. Monster truck, robot, monster truck, dinosaur. That just sounds amazing. I need that in my life. Now, this is a remake of the original, I believe, or at least that seems to be the case. Now,
yeah, because the original was just Carmageddon, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then they made a second one, so it might have put them together. I don't know, but the funny thing about the game, so I have my nostalgia glasses on, right, or whatever, and I'm playing this, and I'm enjoying it. However, when I remember this game, I realize I'm pretty sure I only played the shareware version, because I don't remember there being as much content, and the racers I don't think ever changed or anything. So there's more racers in this than I remember. So I'm pretty sure I only played something like 3 levels of this game, just played over and over and over, and never actually owned the game. Because that's what they did back then. They would, on PC, they would give you a shareware version of Wolfenstein or whatever it happened to be. And or you'd get them with magazines. Yeah, and then if you wanted the rest of the game, you could buy it, and then it would unlock or whatever. So yeah, a lot of nostalgia for this game, and I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. I don't think it did very well, but I know it's been patched a few times since release, and I think it's doing okay now. But it's really for people who remember the game, because it might look like what is it called? Metal. What was the racing game? Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal. It might look like that, but it really doesn't play like that at all. You do get power-ups, or they call them pups in this for some reason. You get power-ups and stuff that are littered across the track. And the objectives might change. You might be able to race. You might be able to kill all of the... Well, you can always... There's always an objective where you can kill all of the players. Either you're stealing their points, the other racers. You're either stealing their points, stealing their laps. You can kill all of the racers and win that way. You can also kill all the pedestrians in the game and win, apparently. Or you can just race like normal. And there's some other different modes too, but the cars are really weighty, actually. There is an upgrade system, so you can get a little bit faster. You can improve some stats of the cars. And once you crash or wreck some of the other cars, you steal them, and then you can use them in subsequent missions. So it is really weighty, the cars. They slide around a lot. There's a lot of hand braking. There's a lot of going 5 feet, hitting a wall, and then being smashed by one of the NPC cars, and then you just do that for like 5 minutes. But so that's kind of like the lower part of the game. But when everything's running well and you're just dominating and killing pedestrians and getting the ridiculous power-ups they have and everything, it's pretty fun. For $3 you could do a lot worse.
I mean, that's true.
So in the music, there's a lot of metal and crazy stuff in there too. So the music's pretty good. It's a lot of fun. It's one of those turn your brains off and just smash into stuff and blow some stuff up. Oh, and when you can repair your car as you're playing, and it's kind of cool, actually. So you'll drive around and you might lose a wheel, or you might lose the cow catcher on the front of your car or whatever. And when that falls off, you can repair, and when you hold down the repair button, all of that stuff fell on the track, but then is like suctioned back to your car and then rebuilt as you're driving around. It's actually a really cool looking effect, because it becomes unsmashed, and the parts just like the wheels just like suck back onto the hubs, and it sounds weird, but it looks cool. It kind of looks like Iron Man when he has that briefcase suit and it all just kind of builds around him. Kind of looks like that, I guess. So having a lot of fun with it. It's ridiculous. It's not the best game ever, but hey, when has that ever stopped us from playing or watching or listening or doing anything, really?
Or creating.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Awesome. It's a good crop of new and old. There's some new in there. Right?
Yeah. New for me, anyway. I don't think I played... I've talked about VR racing before, but I don't think I talked specifically about Assetto Corsa. Or, as I like to call it, racing setup.
Racing setup. It sounds like a proverbial... it sounds like some Spanish explorer. Assetto
Corsa. Yeah, or like...
Travels the Spanish plane.
An edutainment budget title from 1996.
I mean, can't you have Assetto Corsa teaches typing? I mean, doesn't that sound?
Maybe it's because of Rosetta Stone language.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's why.
What's Mavis Beacon up to these days? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I never did play. I never did get to do that stuff. It was Oregon Trail or nothing, really.
That's right. Well, shall we go around the web and burn this podcast to the ground?
We need to, because we need to do this list.
We do. Kevin Austin submitted a list last week we couldn't touch. It's from NPR. It is the top 10 Florida man stories
Oh man.
as from March 3rd. So this is I don't know where they. Let's see.
They are at the bottom. I was just wondering that too. I think the first one is the non-numbered one.
I think NPR just kind of put this together. But you might be asking, what exactly is a Florida man? And Miami Herald's Howard Cohen started listing a few hallmarks of a typical Florida man story. A Florida man tends to generally has to have firearms,
Okay.
locations help, bodies of water, theme parks, Walmarts, Taco Bells, fast food places like that.
Okay.
Alligators for sure. Reasons for arrest, injuries. Drugs and alcohol could also be a part. And like we said, animals. And those will include reptiles in particular.
I was going to say, I almost always assume drugs or alcohol were involved with these stories because they're typically so befuddling that you're just like, what? How?
Yeah.
How
yeah.
and why?
We've got a couple headlines here from Twitter. Florida man steals $33,000 worth of rare coin, cashes them in at Coinstar machine for $29.30.
Yes. Yes.
Florida woman holds up mail truck with toy gun, flees on tricycle.
Is she a juggalo? Like, does she listen to Insane Clown Posse? Because I imagine just being dressed up as a clown and being like, okay, I'm gonna get away on my tricycle.
It talks here. There's a system. Every Florida man story contains one of the following: firearms, locations, objects, reasons for arrest, injuries, drugs, and alcohol, and animals.
Oh, nice. And what does it spell? Yeah.
It's got to have humor. So here we go. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the most Florida of them all? So these aren't in.
Oh God, they're not. What the hell?
They're not. They're not.
So what they did was they went number 2, number 6, number 8, and number 9. What?
They didn't tell all 10. Is there a list that we're not missing that has?
Oh, as well as a spot on the new list of the top 10 stories. Kevin, did you only
read our homework?
Well, maybe he threw this. He knew what he was doing, and he thought they're not going to look at this beforehand.
So I guess the number one story here is this Joshua James character. So in October 2015, Joshua James became a classic example of so-called Florida man when he threw a live 3-foot alligator through the drive-through window of a Wendy's in Loxahatchee, Florida.
Good Lord.
He earned unlawful possession and transportation of alligator, as well as a top spot on a new list of the top 10 Florida man stories, which I will now pull up. This is from the Miami Herald, top 10 Florida man stories.
Scroll down a little bit. After the picture, you'll see it.
So I just talked about Josh James, but we'll go at number 10 and work our way up.
Ooh, sounds good.
Number 10, Florida man fires musket at cars on the 7 Mile Bridge in the Florida Keys. He was dressed in a pirate's costume at the time in July 2015, Monroe County deputies said. He wasn't using real ammo. It was black powder rounds.
Okay, yep. That's that just basically makes the gun go off. My aforementioned boss used to have a black powder pistol, and he would just shoot it.
Of course he did.
I think he was quoted, Florida man was quoted as saying, "Yar."
Number 9, Florida teen gets turned on in a Tampa Bay Walmart.
Whoa.
Hey, we don't find anything remotely sexy about Walmart, but it takes all kinds. But this one enters the Florida man top 10 because of the details. Brookville police said Sean Johnson, 19, came to the store's loss prevention staffer's attention in October 2014 because he plucked a stuffed horse toy off a shelf and then took it to the bedding department where they say he masturbated using the toy. After he finished, he put the stuffed animal covered in his DNA on the bed and then back on the shelf.
What are you doing? Why?
Florida man.
What goes in your brain that you think, there's no way I could be caught doing this?
We just had to hit that Fluxtaposed bestiality mark again.
I told you it happens in every story.
Number 8, Florida man is released from jail on an auto theft charge. He immediately breaks into another car in the jail's parking lot.
And he was caught because deputy was sitting behind the wheel.
That's right.
Wow.
Number 7, death metal musician's home festooned with flamethrowers, weapons, and ammo erupted in heavy metal fire. Guitarist Cannibal Corpse.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
He said the 53-year-old musician forced his way into a neighbor's house while his burned, pushed one of the occupants to the ground, and then lunged at deputies with a knife. It was later said that he was getting the help that he needed. So that's good.
He's getting the help he needs.
Number 6, a naked Florida man who danced in a fire while holding a knife. chanting in an unknown language. According to Cape Coral Police, the man, John Hennessy, dropped the knife and then swung a wooden stick at officers after burning himself in the fire on the front yard of a home.
That'll wake you up.
Police surmise he might have been on psychedelic mushrooms.
I was guessing bath salts, but yeah. It's funny how being lit on fire will snap you out of anything, really.
Right. Number 5, the Florida man who bit off his girlfriend's thumb during a late-night run to Taco Bell.
He looks like the guy you gave a ride to.
He does a little bit. Ricardo Davis and his unnamed girlfriend got into an argument on the way to the fast food restaurant in Palm Bay when the incident occurred in January 2013. Number 4, whoever tied a 12-foot alligator to a tree with a parachute cord behind an apartment complex. Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Committee didn't find their Florida man at the time for the gruesome animal cruelty.
Wow. Mike could tell you a lot about paracord. He's a paracord expert, actually.
Number 3, the Florida man who said he didn't remember going to a Honda of Ocala and taking 2 large screen television sets, putting them in an SUV on the showroom floor, driving through the dealership's double glass doors, crashing into another vehicle, or abandoning the SUV at the entrance of a subdivision.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that.
I'm pretty sure that's a mission in Grand Theft Auto.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Number 2, the Deerfield Beach reptile store owner who threw a bearded dragon lizard in the air, swung it around, and slapped his employees with the poor critter.
Aww.
It was like something out of Game of Thrones, a Miami Herald columnist wrote. And again, the number 1, Joshua James, who threw an alligator through a Wendy's drive-through window.
Yeah, that one takes dedication because you're driving with an alligator readily available right next to you, one would imagine.
Hey, Mike had some insight for us now that he's on Discord. He had some insight for us into the Walmart. Now, Mike, educate us why Florida is this cesspool of insane. Why?
Yeah, we need to know that
us.
secret because you knew the secrets of Walmart. What is the secret of Florida?
That's right. And our last Around the Web story of the week. This comes courtesy of Skinny Matt. He posted it on Discord and I snatched it up the other day. Man escapes whale's mouth after being swept inside while snorkeling. So there you go.
Is his name Geppetto?
South African dive tour operator Rainer Schimpf recalled nearly being swallowed by a whale after he was mistakenly swept into its jaw during a sardine feeding frenzy last month.
I like how they had to make it a point to say mistakenly as if somebody would do this on purpose.
Yeah, so I mean, like during sardine season, they just come through and
they're the vacuums of the sea, and we've talked about that before.
I mean, that's terrifying. I don't want any part of that.
That's what you get for snorkeling. If you're going to go deep sea diving, go all the way. Don't just snorkel. Gosh, you pansy.
I'm ready to go to Florida. I don't know about you.
Well, you know what? I don't know if you can even snorkel in the water there anymore because if I remember correctly, it's turning green now or something, and all these dead fish are showing up.
Great.
Yeah, so
fantastic.
I mean, how could we not just ruin all of the beautiful nature around us?
I used to vacation in Florida. Now
they say if you vacation long enough in Florida, you become Florida man.
With the powers to do crazy shit. That is going to do it for us this week, folks. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for listening at home. But I want to say special thanks to all of our patrons and our arbiters of awesomeness: Josh Brown, Kevin Austin, Kyle Heyman, Tyler Rowland, Tom Servo, Donnie Reese, Matt Knight, and our executives of excellence: Josh Bourboni, Dan Anthony, Edwin Callister, Renee, and Devin Dias. We thank you all for your support. If you want to join the Flux Legion on Patreon, please check out patreon.com/Fluxtaposed. It's a great site. Check us on Discord. Check the show notes, guys. Enter that March giveaway. We want to give you some cool swag at the end of the month. And stay tuned to our social media presence because we will announce the Netflixation as well as put those polls up there for the next Fluxtaposed radio theme. You won't want to miss that. So, on behalf of myself, on behalf of Lucas, thank you guys again for watching. Thank you for listening. We will see you next week. Bye. Bye. I was going to say something witty. I got nothing. Sorry, guys.
I thought we were going to get an errant.
Well, I kind of thought about it, but not today. Bye.